on Denver 7. The highly anticipated affidavit to justify searching President Trump's Mar-a-Lago home is now available for anyone to see, except it's highly redacted. What the parts we can read reveal about the FBI raid as Trump supporters continue to criticize the action. Part of Central 70 is closed through Monday morning as the construction team works to finish another major phase in the project. What you need to know driving in that area this weekend. And your Denver Broncos play their last preseason game tonight at Empower Field, the lead up to the first game of the regular season.
Looking forward to that game this evening. Good morning. Welcome to Denver 7 News. I'm Jessica Crawford.
And I'm Katie LaSalle. Thanks so much for joining us this Saturday morning. Let's start by catching you up on some of the stories happening this weekend. Food trucks, they're back in Lodo this weekend. The city of Denver is allowing them again after essentially banning them to try and prevent crowds from gathering late at night downtown. The city is giving 7 trucks a license to operate between 9 and midnight. If food truck owners do not follow these new rules, they could get a ticket or sanctions on their licenses. Now, these new rules are in place for at least the next 4 months. Also, Big Soda Lake at Bear Creek Lake Park is back open for all water activities this weekend. So some good news there. It has been closed for nearly 2 weeks because of toxic algae. Bear Creek Reservoir is still closed to paddle boarding, though, because of high levels of bacteria. But canoes, kayaks, boats, and fishing are still allowed.
Families in Boulder can learn about back-to-school safety today. The city is hosting an event at the Meadows Branch Library from noon to 2. Elementary school students can get information about bike and pedestrian safety. The city will also give out a limited number of bike helmets.
RTD needs to fill about 200 bus driver positions and 90 mechanic positions, so it is holding a job fair next week. Its hiring fair is from 10 until 2 on Monday through Wednesday at RTD's building off of Colfax in Aurora. You can apply online or at the hiring fair. It is 9:02 and let's take a live look over Empower Field, Mile High, ahead of tonight's final preseason Broncos game. It's going to be mostly sunny skies for us today and very warm this afternoon. You can see outside we're dealing with a lot of sunshine, especially up into the mountains and really all across the state. Actually, it's going to stay mostly clear for the rest of the day, which is a slight increase in cloud coverage later on. Our high country planner, temperatures around 10,000 feet, climbing to the upper 60s to low 70s, both today and tomorrow. It's mainly going to be dry, but we will see a few of those isolated storms pop up over our northern and central mountains. Risk of any severe weather will remain low, and then later on this evening will gradually clear out across the state once again. For tomorrow, slightly cooler air shifting in over northern Colorado, and a few more storms will be possible here over the metro area. Another ridge of high pressure set to build in through early next week with a drier weather pattern moving in, less monsoon moisture streaming into the state.
We now know more about the search at former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. A document has been unsealed and it reveals some of the reasoning behind the search. ABC's Christine Sloan has the details.
The 38-page affidavit that led to the FBI raid on former President Donald Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago is now public. The document is heavily redacted and reveals that well before the search, Trump had already been found to have taken highly classified information. That material, found in 15 boxes that Trump's team turned over to the National Archives in January, included 184 classified documents, 92 secret, and 25 marked top secret mixed in with other records.
The FBI never would have gotten this search warrant approved unless they had an immense amount of information.
Later in the affidavit, the FBI outlines how the agency determined more classified documents were still inside Mar-a-Lago, but those details are almost completely blacked out. The document does show a warning the FBI sent to Trump's lawyers in June, saying Mar-a-Lago was not authorized to house sensitive government materials that could compromise national security.
Given that some of the documents deal with electronic eavesdropping, spies, and secrets from allies, the FBI and the entire intelligence community are urgently working on a damage assessment.
The Senate Intelligence Committee is now asking the Biden administration to be briefed on the national security risks posed by the discovery of the sensitive documents at Mar-a-Lago. Meantime, Trump maintains he fully cooperated with government officials, despite the released evidence appearing to show his team stonewalled the National Archives for months. Christine Sloan, ABC News, New York.
Driving could be tricky today and tomorrow after part of I-70 shut down late last night.
And it's all a good thing in the long run because we know it's just getting us one step closer to the Central 70 project being completed, but it could add a little extra time to your drive this weekend. So our Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us live with everything you need to know about having a smooth commute to Veronica.
Well, weekends are always so full of so many fun things to do, right? And this weekend really is no exception. We know the Broncos, they're playing that final preseason game tonight. And if you're a Broncos fan and you're coming from either East Denver or Northeast Denver, you're going to run into a little bit of a tricky situation here. And that's because of what we have going on I-70 here this morning. You can see that closure in full effect. Crews very much at work, and they have been since really early this morning. We want you to look at some pictures as well. We got these right at 7 a.m. from one of our executive producers. You see the diversion happening there off I-70. Traffic not looking too bad, but that was 2 hours ago, so just some caution there. Late last night, CDOT closed westbound I-70 between I-270 and Brighton. This is going to stay closed until really early Monday morning, right around 5. And during this closure, CDOT's going to get rid of the barriers before and in the westbound tunnel. They're also going to be restriping the interstate. Listen to what CDOT says will be new once this all opens back up.
You're going to have those nice new wide shoulders. You're going to have a new acceleration and deceleration lane on the highway as well. It's just going to be wider overall.
And I know a lot of people at home probably asking themselves, well, what does CDOT still have to finish on Central 70? That playground is still top of mind, and then those express toll lanes as well. Those will start charging next year, and that's really the good news there. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thanks for the update, Veronica. Taking another live look outside at Empower Field ahead of the Broncos game tonight against the Minnesota Vikings.
So here's everything you need to know if you're going to either be cheering from the stands or from your living room couch. The first parking lot gates, they open at 1:30. All gates to the stadium will be open at 5. Kickoff is at 7 from Empower Field. Also, Brett Rippon, he will start as quarterback.
The Broncos open the season in less than 3 weeks. They're going to be in Seattle to take on the Seahawks on Monday, September 12th. And you can watch the game right here on Denver 7.
But it is going to cost you a little more to tailgate. Before Broncos games this year, inflation is just making tailgating essentials more expensive. Beer and grocery prices, they're higher, so is propane and the firewood to heat up grills. So there are some things you can do to save money, like buy cheaper kinds of meats or use different foods. And you can watch the game at home because prices to buy a new TV, those are actually down. Well, coming up, this week's Denver 7 Everyday Hero is not only talking the talk, but she is walking the walk. How Sandy Prince is showing her appreciation and gratitude week after week for the people who helped save her son's life.
A new tool in your arsenal to fend off the Omicron variant of COVID-19, the timeline for Pfizer's latest booster shot and controversy over their development of the vaccine.